Oh, I wish. Haha! I beat the clock. All right. Welcome to Talk About Paint Club. It's December already, Nicole. Can you believe it?
Back to December.
There you go. All right. So, let's see. Welcome to the delayed show on Sunday instead of our normal Saturday. I'm your host, Rick Strohmeyer, along with
That Hattress.
that one. All right.
Nicole. Yeah, cool.
So, yeah.
Me.
All right, we're going to be. It's not like this is going to be much of a deviation. You know, we're doing live paint. We're doing a live painting tonight, along with regularly scheduled topics, along with the color of the month. We have
and the long anticipated breakdown of us discussing Ahsoka.
Oh yeah, that too. So long ago, I forgot we were going to do that.
I have not. I was like, when I finally finished the last episode, I was like, I must tell Rick when I see him at the next.
Very good. All right. So, let's see, Nicole, before we jump into it, what are you drinking to? What the hell are you drinking tonight?
I was going to say something stupid like, oh, caffeine, because I have like iced tea with me, but drags or wheat, marijuana. Nicole invited me to the Facebook page. Yes, I did. Exactly. That's exactly why I did it. That is 100%. I am so proud that you know me this well to know exactly.
Oh, very good.
I sent it to him because every fucking Saturday, no matter how many times we have said 3 weeks on, last week off, this man will text me every single Saturday going, do you have a show? Do you have a show?
Well, thanks, Dylan. I appreciate it. And
I love it.
I did mean to, it's in my notes to say, hey, if you guys are not invited into the Facebook group page, by all means, make sure you get there. And so, yeah,
I'll send it to y'all.
You got in front of the curve, which is ahead of the curve, which is fabuloso, and that's wonderful. All right, so I have a cup. Nothing too spectacular there, just something that went with dinner. And dinner was one of my three favorite things. Chicken.
What, chicken?
So, yeah.
I don't know why I thought you said tickets. I was like,
well, I like tickets too, but it depends on to what. But apparently everybody was going go for Go-Go Puffs this weekend because of Go-Go Godzilla. Gosh, I wish I thought I planned that better. Everybody's happy about Godzilla.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Dude, new Godzilla movie came out this week and everybody's loving it.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about. Thank you.
All right, like everybody's loving it. And I'm like, sure, because it's not a dude in a suit, and it's not the Matthew Broderick one. So,
can we just don't talk about the Matthew Broderick one?
Everybody happy, and that's okie doke. So, like, yeah. All right, so you're drinking weed. I'm drinking a Coke, and we're gonna have a happy meeting. Well, welcome, Dylan. All right, so let's see what else we got. All right, so previously on Jimmy Kimmel on Talk About Paint Club, the color of the month was a Jupiter red, and it was a dusty pink. And
the month before that was a dusty pink.
What was this? November's was the dusty pink, right?
No, Jupiter red.
Right. There's okay.
It's two different colors.
Oh, all right. Well, I did it though.
Wait, Jupiter was that like cherry pinkish weirdish?
Yeah, that's
We
what I
had like
did
two
my.
different red pinkish things going on, like in one.
Yeah, that's what I did my Chumaku with.
I can't
My fish
determine what the
were.
wheel will say, Dylan. I'm so sorry.
Do you have your piece that you want to show? The from November's card of the month?
I'm still working on it.
Oh, this.
Well, I didn't paint at all. I was resin casting this whole month, so I humbly apologize. The closest thing that I casted that was like that color, where is it? It was like I don't know. I guess this counts because I did it for color of the month, so it just doesn't look like it on. It doesn't look like it on camera. I just didn't finish the painting that I was doing yet, like when we started it. You can't like it looks.
I don't think we set a ground rule that it must be paint.
Oh well, then I did two things and I finished one.
Well, there you go. Congratulations.
The weird thing though, it doesn't look pink, which like it doesn't look. It doesn't like the camera doesn't show that tint, and I really can't stand that part of it. Drives me nuts because like this just looks red, and it's not the same as. Wait, where's the other red? It's clearly not the same as this, but it looks goddamn similar.
That's cool.
But it's not. Like this has a few drops of pink pigment in it, and then one drop of red. So it has like mostly pink to like back it up, and just like it was like a toothpick hair of red. And then the glow powder I used was pink, so it wouldn't be red. And it like if you look at it, if you were here and you were to look at it, you'd go, okay, I know what you're talking about. But of course, I'm showing you here, and it looks like a fucking fire engine.
No, dude, it's like it's cool because like
it's just it drives me nuts, like how cameras don't
show.
Like,
monitors show different things. It's like
once I show you what have you been doing lately, like you're going to hear me complain a lot about that.
Well, there you go. I know I shared mine, but you know it's the official time to share it, so I'm going to share my Chomuko. So yeah, papoom. So that's my guy.
Oh my God, I love him so much. I loved him at the show. I was watching it from afar.
There you go. So yeah, like I was pretty pleased the way that came out, especially for it being the fast turnaround.
There are a lot of cute pieces at that show. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought it was a very strong show.
And you were very reasonably priced too. I won't lie.
Oh yes. Well,
you were priced to sell, which I thought was very smart.
Well, thank you. It didn't though, but yeah, thank you. But yeah, like I mean, like yeah, it's like they're doing cash and carry for that. I think maybe they're not. Like I thought they were doing cash and carry for that show, and I it was just like we were asked to be not speedy, but selected because of our speediness, because we were not given a lot of time between receiving the thing in the show. So yeah, so price to sell and designed for speed. So like whenever you see somebody who's if you ever see somebody who's got like a car that looks like it should be a street racer and it's just like only has a driver's side and nothing but primer, it's been broken down for speed.
How much shit you'll buy if you go to one of our shows? Nothing, because you've never bought any of my art, so I don't want to hear that.
Sounds like a conversation I just had with somebody else. All right, so let's see. Any housekeeping we got? Yes. So next week is also going to be a Sunday broadcast because I have an event from 11 to 8, and then going to do the art battle from 8:30 to midnight.
And I also have Unwrapped.
So,
but I will be showing Unwrapped live from Paint Club's Instagram.
There you go. That's cool.
There is no family discount. Perfect. The family discount is you supporting me.
Maybe you get better swag. So like,
Yeah, maybe you get extras, but the
I
discount
mean,
is
like,
my bills get paid.
it's funny. Like when I do events, and people who say they'll be back typically are not. People who say they'll come back and do make a purchase, they typically get cooler swag. Like, and that's just like whether or not it's.
I've always said to my family and friends, like, if you want me to paint for you, my resin cast I can't do very much about in terms of like I can do it as low as I have them like online right now, like on my website. But like I like paintings, like I'm always willing to be like way cheaper when it comes to like my families and friends and stuff. But like y'all have to fucking tell me what the fuck you want and like a date and give me the deposit like a real customer and shit like that. Other like everything else is fine. Like I'll be cheaper. I don't mind that. Just you gotta be like realistic and like not be just saying it.
Oh, that's
your wrestling ring is free. That doesn't count. He won a wrestling ring because we used to do these we haven't done it in a long time. We used to do these sheets during like pay-per-views where like we guessed who would win, like all this stuff, and
so pools.
He won like 2. Yeah, basically a pool. He won 2 in a row, so he got like the ultimate championship. At first it was a painting.
Congratulations on your championship win, Dylan.
Well, once it became 2 wins in a row, I was like, I ain't making 2 of these. We're doing one thing and that's it.
Aw, you cheap bastard.
No, I guess we're doing it next month. Anyways.
Yeah.
Anyways.
He's gonna be like, you're not, Rick called you cheap. Yeah. All right, so let's see. We have what else do we have? Okay, so yeah. December's gonna be weird. It's gonna probably be 2 Sundays and then not. Which is fine. And then let's see, what else have we got? We got Nicole's color of the month. We got that. You got drinking. Okay, so Nicole, we have color of the month. So we've had 2 pinks in a row. Can we do 3?
I hope not. Hold on, I gotta move all the things I had on top of it because I thought we were gonna do what have you been doing lately first.
No, we can do that first if you want.
No, I still gotta move the things afterwards. Okay. So robot. Dylan wants green, so let's hope that it's green.
Oh, that'd be very festive.
We already did that one. It was the fluorescent pink from like a few months ago. And that's funny that hold on, I stopped the spin while I was
yes, we
that.
can do
hilarious.
It
again. That is hilarious. That we just said no pink, or can we hit 3 pinks in a row?
I'm sure we can.
That's black. We're not doing black again.
I'm sure Sharpie put 3 pinks in there.
They did. Nope, we just did that one. We're really. How are we? I shouldn't say how are we running out, because there's 30 fucking markers.
Well, look at it this way. It's the last color of the month for this year. So.
We literally just did. That was a Jupiter. Okay, I'm gonna flatten this because I feel like maybe it's just like
the wheels off level.
It's called Galaxy Green. Look at there Galaxy. You go, Dylan.
Yeah.
It looks like.
What do you want?
It looks like a mintish green. Hold on.
Oh, I love that.
It looks kind of like a darkish pistachio. Not dark pistachio. Like pistachio ice cream, a little bit darker.
Oh, cool.
Like a dark mint green. Where can I pop this out? Is it gonna let me pop it out?
That's in my wheelhouse for sure.
This is color.
In fact, it
looks like sage on the TV on the computer, but it's not. Exactly. where it looks like sage on the computer, but it's not exactly. It's like it's like it's pistachio with a little bit of brightness to it.
Conveniently, I'm already painting
Or
that.
darkness to it. What am I talking about? I'm actually digging that because I was just about to do something, or like I kept saying that I haven't had done anything green in a while. So
It's cool. I was working on a
Bring
project
on,
last. I was working on a project last night, and when the guy asked me for a status update, I showed him my work in progress, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I never thought about casting it in this color." I'm like, that's go-to base color, and like, do you mind if I cast some in that color? I'm like, go ahead. I do not have like, I don't have a copyright on that. It's like, by all means, like, it was kind of it was more minty. And I was like, but it's like one of my go-tos for if I want like if I when working with white to build it up, like it's one of my go-tos for.
Why are you cooking dinner with your phone on the stove, Kevin?
Oh, don't do that, Kev. That's a
I
recipe.
love it.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
I love that your go-to colors are like, I love that green is like a big part of that wheelhouse because you do so well with green. Like you do well with everything. I was like, hold on, how do I phrase this? You do well with everything, but like when you do greens, like you somehow, because I'm always like amazed at it, do this like insane dynamic like way to highlight it with another green and then counter it on the color wheel, and it just looks like, yeah. I was never a big fan of greens, to be honest, like in terms of art and using it in my own art until we started doing this.
Cool. Glad to be inspiring.
Well, I started feeling more comfortable with it. You know, I was like, what am I so afraid of for the color green? Just because I'm not like a fan of it. Like
awesome.
It can look good in art. Just because I'm not a fan of wearing it, you know, like what is wrong with you, you dumb fuck? Green is the color of life. I don't know what that means, but
sure. Well, if you've seen Loki,
fair.
Like, no spoilers there because I think it's too soon. But yeah.
Do you though? It's already over.
If you haven't seen Loki, by all means, check that out before I start spoiling that. Because chances are I'll be spoiling that soon.
The color of tranquility is actually blue, if you know anything about birthstones. But anyways,
that's all right. Like, it's a calming color, and that's all right. I mean, people go for a recharge.
Green's the color of envy, ain't it?
I don't know. But like people go, you know, like Alicia does this more often than I. When she goes out to her folks' place that's out in the boonies or out in the woods, and she always comes back a little more recharged than when she left. And a lot of people do, and they always feel like a little more recharged after they've spent some time in nature. I almost never do. I'm always just glad to be back. Not to sound like a negative Nancy on that, but yeah,
it's just not for everyone.
It isn't. I mean, I used to love going camping when I was significantly younger, and probably, I'm sure the massive amount of alcohol consumed was a big help. But yeah, like not in the younger years or not in the older years. So that's right. All right. So let's see. I totally spaced wanting to actually put like big notes about Ahsoka. So I've got like IMDb kind of pulled up so I can be like, so we can think about that. But before we do that, what have you? Actually, I'll just pull up Disney Plus's menu. But before we do discuss anything about Ahsoka, that isn't just Sabine Wren being the worst Mandalorian ever. We'll jump to what have you been doing lately, and Nicole. If you have more than one thing, we'll just bounce back and forth, and we'll just.
I have. Okay, hold on. I have one.
Do you have more than one thing?
Like 3. like 3, but 1 is art and 2 is just like, okay, 1 is art, 1 is like life fun artsy shit, and then the other one is like a crafty thing.
So that's a yes, right?
Yes, I just didn't know how to like
Okay.
categorize how many things when I was saying yes.
Okay. Well, it's just like it's fine. Okay.
Where do we
So
want to start? Do we want to know the weird craftsy stuff, the fun things, or the
you
art?
you you pick your poison, dude. Like that's you, man. Like
Here, I'll just show, okay,
that's you.
I'll show the fun thing just so we could all laugh at me and get it out the way. Um because of Trevor, our dear friend Trevor from TNT Toys, TNT Plastic,
Okay.
sorry. He gave me the in on a place in Poughkeepsie that had a signed Taylor Swift CD. So here I am, cooler than fuck with
Oh, very cool.
yeah. And then today, because I'm a crazy person, and
You're
I'm
flipping that on
actually
eBay?
hell no. I'm a crazy person and I'm scared to tell my dad this because I've stolen vinyls from him. I've never owned like personally bought a vinyl because like I have
Oh,
his own like I have the shit that I wanted from when he from the cool era. I did buy this. My first is a fucking Taylor Swift vinyl.
oh, I was like House of the Dragon.
He's gonna kill. He's gonna be like, "Are you fucking kidding me? The first vinyl you buy is a goddamn Taylor Swift vinyl." And yes, it is
Why?
because he thinks I'm ridiculous. Also, though, he did buy me for Christmas because I already know. He bought me a ticket to a Taylor Swift dance party that's like a town away from me, where Dylan lives, which I find hilarious because like it's just me going. But okay. I got this one because it has a bunch of songs that remind me of my mom. So I got that. And then the last fun thing is I got to go, oh, geez, as I drop paint everywhere, I got to go see my cousin in his play
Ah, very cool.
and got to spend a few minutes afterwards. Um, what's it called? Like just sitting there like afterwards and like it was a very small theater, so which made it great. And of course I cried. I mean, I didn't cry because it was him. I cried because of the play itself. Like I'm brutally honest, I don't like everything that he does, and I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it, but that shit hit me in all the feels. Everything that happened in that, like, it's very fast paced. You have to pay attention. It's only 90 minutes long or 80 minutes long. But it's just him and Aubrey Plaza on the stage. That's it.
Oh, cool.
Nobody else, just them. And it was like him and I were sitting like afterwards, just like chit chatting, like, how are you? Like, we got to hang out and stuff. And then like Aubrey had someone to meet, so he introduced me to her, which I thought was very nice. And I was like, oh,
That was cool.
I got to shake Aubrey Plaza's hand. That's so fucking cool. He's like, you didn't have to come. You did not have to come. I'm like, I absolutely did. Are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah, how else are you
I,
gonna meet Aubrey Plaza?
shut up. Like for it was he started on the stage, so for me it was like I wanted to go support and go see like where he began. And like I've seen all like most of his movies, I've seen all of his shows, and like at that point I'm like, I've never seen him on Broadway. Like his whole entire family has seen him. I'm sure that they all got free tickets because it's like he, your mom and your dad and shit. But like it was 77 fucking dollars, and it was such a small theater that you're like this either way. And
Yeah.
Aubrey, she's kind of like how everybody would expect her to be. She's like nice, but she's not like she's how she presents is how she is.
Yeah, that's cool.
Pleasant and aloof.
Mm.
Not aloof. I don't know the word. I don't know what the word I'm trying to think. It's pleasant and just like yeah, hey, what's up? Well, nothing that's like oh my god, it's so nice to meet you. Where they're like so like how some actors are like, oh, it's so great to meet you too. Like they're I feel like that's very fake, and I appreciate the people who are like, hey, yeah, nice to meet you. Cool. You know, the ones who aren't like trying to like be all like, like I'm so cool, or like, yeah, I gotta pretend like I love everybody.
All right. Fair.
Either way, the play is only on until January, so I know like nobody who's watching is going to be able to watch it. But if you can't go to the city, it's amazing. No, it's not Mick Foley set the bar high. Just I feel like, you know, everyone's different. Like I wouldn't say she's standoffish. She's very nice. She's just calm. She's calm. And she's also like in between like two different, yeah, exactly, cool. She's just cool. She's just chill. And like they're in between shows. So she was also waiting for my cousin to hurry up so they could go fucking eat a sandwich. And she was like, because I was like,
so you were helping delay people eating and during their break.
Exactly. Like she had her friend there. He had me, and she's just like, "You're gonna go eat." Like, hey, I don't blame you. And he's like, "Yeah, we got cots in the back to take naps." I'm like, bless y'all hearts. What it's like to be an actor. And of course, like everybody's waiting at the stage door, right? Like fangirling to meet her. And I'm like, I don't want to say the only one, but I was like the only one that was like, I can't wait to see Christopher. like I can't wait to see him. And
well,
like,
you got to bump people that you know. Like, hey,
yeah.
you know,
absolutely.
He's done his time too.
I had people in line. I was like, can you take my picture with like the poster in the background? Because that's my cousin. And they're like, Aubrey? I'm like, no, him. He is. I'm like, you know, like, no, him, this guy, that guy, this one.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
Like the actors weren't going out the side door or whatever. And I think they actually might have at one point, but they wait a few minutes, and the guy who like took me to go like, you know, see him for a few minutes, he was like, we just don't tell people to wait, we just tell them later. And I couldn't stop laughing at that, because he was just like, yeah, it's our way to tell them to get the fuck out. Because like, you know, it's in between the break when like they want to go eat, so they don't want to have like the fans waiting at the door during like the in between one. They'd rather it be like the nighttime showing, like come back at 7.
Yeah, be like that muffin lady in the Saturday Night Live bit. I'm gonna get my muffin. I'm on break.
Exactly. And that was, who was it? It was Trevor. Me and Trevor. Trevor goes, how do you know Chris? And I was like, like birth. He was just like, he was in a movie that I really liked recently with Aubrey Plaza. And I was like, he was like in my house every day when I was a kid.
That's cool.
Like stupid responses to him. Like, oh my God, I saw him in this. I'm like, oh my God, I saw him in like pajamas. Just stupid responses. But like, I did tell him, because like, you know how, remember Pogs back in the day?
Yeah.
So for like 3 or 4 years now, 2019, yes, since my mom passed, I kept saying, I want to make art Pogs. And I kept thinking just my art. And I was like, nah, bro, we should have like a bunch of like people's like, like your logo or something like cool, like your like an insignia or like a stamp on like a pod. And I learned Pogs from this motherfucker. So I told him when we were sitting there, I was like, bro, I've been talking about it for like 3 years now. Like, I gotta make 3 or 4 years now. I gotta make these damn Pogs. And I was like, and it's all your fault. And he's like, oh my God, stop. And I'm like, no, for real. Remember when we'd sit in your room and I was obsessed with those stupid little discs? Like, now we need to make them again. You have slammers and Pogs in your basement. See, we got to bring them back. Angel started it back. Started bringing back, collectible things like that for artists. Like the trait to me, creatives is very Cabbage, like Cabbage or what is it, Garbage Pail Kids-esque, because they're artsy. Yeah, they're different artists, but they're artsy, so it's different.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, that was my fun thing.
Okay. Let's see. I have
and then I'll do my
200 magnets downstairs that I've been painting and I don't have a single picture for. No, all right. So let's see. Actually, I'm going to show this because even though this isn't the final, this is not where I am. I'm further along, but I really like. So those who don't know, the king corpse has a cavity. The chest is blown out, and inside goes a heart that is designed for it. And so I had this alien head.
Oh, that's so smart.
It was just for the moment. It is not. That's not the forever piece there, but for the moment, that's in there, and it's
That's
or
so
was
cool.
in there. So, thank you. So yeah, like that king corpse. Here, let me grab it. But that's
Okay.
I ended up. This has been my chill out piece for a while when doing other things. So there we go. Yeah, so like I ended up putting a cool green on there and all the wounds and like the torn flesh. I've decided to make it go with like a rubbery black look. So it was based with black and then highlighted with a dark blue green and a little brighter to make it just pop, but just a little. And I'm pretty happy with that. That came out super nice. And then like I ended up getting the Space Squatch from ETC.
I almost said Tim. I'm like, yes.
Well, yeah. And so he when I showed it to him the last night, he was like, "Oh, there's bubbles in it." I'm like, "Yeah, I can fix that." He's like, "No, I'll just send you a new one." And I'm like, "No, dude, I can fix that." And he's like, "Nope." so I get to use that as a paint master, and then and then let's see. Yeah, just a shit ton of magnets and other stuff to be ready for this upcoming weekend. So,
And you got your box, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, so I got some extra pop-ups to sell, and then my next when it's my turn again, I'll talk about something else that I won't show. But yeah, so go ahead and. What's next on your Nicole's big box or big list of things you got?
Okay, so this is ridiculous. This is okay. This one's ridiculous, and I don't really care. So, I am literally 5 years old, and that's fine. Do you know Victoria Most? Roar's Toys. She does like the little like the little like foxes and hedgehoggies, and anyway, she does puppetry and all that shit.
I'm drawing a blank.
If I sent you it, you'd be like, "Duh." Okay. Anyway, she's West Coast. She's San Francisco. And I love her. So I thought many moons ago that because she works for Meta, I thought that Meta made, it's Roars. Exactly. Okay, so I'm not crazy. It's Roars because I say Roars. Oh
yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So Roars and I are tired.
Thank goodness Kevin's here as the.
See, he spells it, and then you're like, "Duh." So her and I. Okay. Anyways, so I thought she worked for Meta, which she does, and then I thought that Meta made the Miniverse make it things, and it's not who makes it. I read MGA Miniverse as Metaverse. So whatever, either way, I started buying these things thinking like, oh yeah, like this is my friend, let me support her. And that's obviously not the case, but she posts that she makes these. So
Meta
I thought
the Facebook company.
Yeah,
Okay.
like she does puppetry for them.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
wow.
cool. And she did puppetry for what's that movie? Coraline. Like
Okay.
she worked with like whatever studios.
Leica Studios.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's amazing. So when she was posting that she was making these things, like these little crafty things, I'm like, oh, bet I'm going to support my friend. Of course I am. And then like she's like, oh, you're so sweet. I don't make those. That's Metaverse and Miniverse, total different companies, girl. And I'm like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm an idiot, but I can't help it because these things are fucking adorable, and she makes them too. So now her and I have play dates set up to do these on Zoom because we're crackheads. So before I even, I'm just going to show this insane case that I have, and it's going to all fall out when I do it. So it's like this case of stuff. It's going to literally all fall out. I already know it's going to do that, and I'm okay with it, I guess. It's like you have to buy the case, but you buy them in individual boxes, and like, look at this thing. It's all supplies to make mini food thingies. So
Okay.
I got the case because it helps you organize absolutely everything of your insanity, such as myself, when you buy this shit. Because I'm a psychopath, and of course I bought it. And it says 8 and up, but you know what? It's UV resin, and guess what? I'm above 8, so that's how I took it. 8 and up.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. But what I do love about it is like, yeah, they give you like the step-by-step instructions on like how to make these. So again, I'm a crazy person, and like one box came with this thing that says recipes. So I'm insane, and I cut out every single one that comes on in this like pamphlet thingy here.
Okay.
In all of the series that I've ever bought, like series 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and I've cut them all out because I'm insane. And like, so it shows you what you're making on the front, and on the back it tells you like, oh, how to assemble it, all that good stuff. And then like, this is how you're supposed to follow the rules. This is how you're supposed to follow the rules. And I say that with emphasis for a reason, because give an artist some crafty shit and she will take those rules and throw them out the fucking window. So you are supposed, like with the pizza, you're supposed to just put the resin on it, put the shit on top, and boom, you made a pizza. Oh, no, not Ty. I cut a slice out of it and I UV resined it to make it look like it had a cheese pull.
Oh, there you go.
It has this little guy going on.
Nice.
So no, we're not going to do normal things. That's not how the artists do things. We don't follow the rules. Like my little nacho plate, it has a piece of nachos being pulled out because I am crazy. That's how we do things as artists. We don't follow the rules. And her and I like sit there and we'll send each other videos because that was my sanity. Like when I would come home from the hospital, like, every night or whatever. And now that like I got to organize that shit and all that, we started doing like what they call mix-ups, I guess. So it's like when you take the recipe card and just fuck with it. So like, making little things that don't come at all together as a recipe kit. And it is the most calming fucking thing in the entire planet. And it sounds so ridiculous. Like my stepdad and I were at Target the other day and he was like, Nicole, this is for children. And I was like, you have no idea how extraordinarily calming it is when you're an artist to be able to, instead of cast your own resin, like make your own whatever, just to sit there and go a little bit childish, go a little bit back into your youth. And if the nachos are stuck together, it does, yes, it counts as one nacho. Exactly. Like, it's just so nice. And I gotta give props to the, MGA for making this shit. And I feel like all of us, every single one of us artists should make at least one of them and just like kind of kick back to our old child, like throw it back to some adolescence to give it like ourselves a little bit of a, oh, that's nice. Like they did shit like they did a turkey for Thanksgiving where it came with a turkey and the resin was a glaze for the turkey, and it came with little like carrots that you were supposed to put alongside of it, and it came with like the drumstick holders for the turkey. Like they go real detail into this shit, and it's like for people like us who like to build things and like to make things, to do it like when it's not your job, because I think I have found for like most of my hobbies, once it becomes my job, I hate doing them. Or not that I hate it, but like it brings like a point to where I'm like stressed out versus loving it. And art way more often lately has done that to me. And when she was showing me this shit, I was like, girl, you like that is so fun. Like I gotta do one. And now I'm like, this is the most necessary thing. Like to pause and just go, let me make one quick thing in like the midst of the deadlines and necessities and stuff. And it's still art. You're still practicing craft. You're still doing something artsy to fulfill that need, but you're not like hitting a deadline, forcing yourself to do whatever. And like, it's a nice pause while still keeping the creative brain going. And like, people be thinking I'm nuts, and I'm fine with it. Cause like, again, it says 8 and up. And I'm like, you know what? I would never let any of the 8-year-olds I fucking teach play with this resin. You're crazy. Like you're a psycho to think that I'm going to let any of these children touch this resin. Like I get it on my hands. We are not letting the kids touch it. Like right. even with gloves on, like no. So I am gonna probably send a few of them to maybe one of them to you, maybe one of them to some of my other friends, and I want everyone to kind of just be an adolescent and have the fun of it being a mystery. Because that's the fun part about when you buy in the ball. Like you don't know which one of these it is. And like, okay, before I even get all psychotic and I'm done with this, because I am a crazy person when it comes to these things, and people like who know me probably think I'm like mentally unstable for it, and it's fine. They have baked potato. They have a baked potato. Okay. They have a jar of pickles. And this series that they did now, which I think this is why it's my favorite. They have like here popsicles, and it comes with a resin mold for the popsicles. So you literally can reuse that fucking mold and make micro popsicles for shits and giggles at any point. And then like that's what they call the cafe. And then like for the diner one this time, like this series or whatever, they got shit in here like fucking crunchy tacos.
Oh, nice.
Or a cheeseburger, nigiri sushi, a Caesar salad, for Christ's sakes. They're like ridiculous things. And then again, a resin mold. It's a Jell-O mold. So it's like how our parents used to make the Jell-O salads and like had that fun little bundt cake style. It's a fucking mini resin mold that makes the bundt cake Jell-O. So like, shit, when I get that, when my ass gets that, when I'm gonna be making random Jell-O things for no reason constantly as like little charms to put in baggies and stuff. Like, yeah. Whoever the hell made this, MGA.
That sounds badass.
Yeah, you're giving people who get stressed out from their art jobs a nice little pause and keeping those creative juices flowing and not making them go, fuck this shit. Okay. Hey, it literally has saved me from going, fuck this shit. I don't want to do art for a while. No lie.
There you go.
So I'm going to send you one.
There you go. All right. Cool.
Maybe we can do one because I'm a loser. We can do one on Paint Club.
Oh, that's all right. That'd be cool.
Because I know you have UV
lights. You gotta stop this self-depreciating. It's unattractive.
I'm sorry. Right? I'm sorry. I always call myself a loser.
No, you gotta stop it. That's unattractive. Okay. This is me. This is me yelling at you. All right. We're not. You don't paint
I'm not
bravely.
a loser. I'm fucking amazing.
you don't paint bravely and talk and put yourself down. That's not cool.
Okay.
Nobody got time for that shit. All right.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Dylan,
All right.
you can't say that Eagles lost and it's a good day when Kevin's here because Kevin is a diehard Eagles fan. So y'all ain't gonna have a good conversation.
Maybe not for this season. All right. So let's see. So this week, due to issue, I ended up downloading Blender, and I made.
Did you?
Yep, and I've made 2 donuts and started, and I remade a tail. No, I didn't. So I have to redo mainly because I want to redo the tail on my pop. Because on the little ones you have, it was hand sculpted on, and then resin cast, and I want to be able to just have a digital mock-up of that.
Oh, like here, like so it doesn't have that separation.
I don't know. So I figured out how to delete the tail off of the STL I do have, and then I just haven't figured out how I want to actually sculpt a new tail, because like my first effort was to make a comma, give it some depth, and then merge it on, and it ended up acting a little weird. And so but yeah, like I've made 2 donuts, and I was really annoyed with the first one, and of course the way big props to Alicia for building up the idea that the first one's the shitty one, because she's like, what do you tell everybody on the show? You're like, hey, the first one's crappy. and so getting over that hump myself was a little hard. But yeah, like once the second event that I've got in a row is done, I will be probably making like 10 freaking donuts before you and I reconvene, and other things. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna start messing with this shit. So there you go. Rick's dipped his toes into 3D rendering.
I'm so proud of you.
So thank you. And so yeah, that was one of the big things that I've done this week, besides just like a shit ton of little things to go to the events. So pretty positive on that. And then Nicole gets to do her thing, and then we'll discuss Ahsoka for a little bit.
I kind of thought it was funny just because they were talking about, oh, I love it.
When it comes to donuts, I'll bet you'll rise to the occasion.
Because we go to this place called Rise Donuts. Such an idiot.
I sure will.
Next time you're here, I will bring you a Rise donut because you will love it. Rick's Stroh blender. So stupid. Oh my god.
Yeah. We could do better puns than that. But if you need a better fish pit pun, let me know. All right, Nicole, you said you had one more thing to share?
Yeah, I mean, I guess besides like what I've been doing with the children.
Yeah, dude, we don't need to talk about kids.
No, I'm talking about the art that I've been doing with the kids. This week I had to do something kind of, I had to do religious stuff because, part of the job is conceding to what the one thing I have to do every so often is. And they made like a Advent wreath, like, with the candles and shit. And it was by far, I swear to God, whoever makes these crafts for children, by far does not know a goddamn thing about having to teach children. Because if I had to hear one more time, Miss Nicole, I can't get the sticker off the back of this, I could have jumped out of the window, because all I knew in my head when I was like making the example one earlier in the morning was there's no way that they're gonna be able to do. Like, I'm just looking at it like, nah, nope, not gonna happen. And like mine couldn't even be finished in 30 minutes. Because I timed it for 30 minutes. And I was like, nope. Like, this is so sad. And lo and behold, it didn't happen. And I'm so excited for next week because we're going back to normal, just like, like themed, like, winter themed, whatever I want to do. And we're making snowmen with baby socks. It's the cutest thing. We're making, like, you put a foam ball inside of the baby socks and twist it, and then you put another one and twist it. It's the cutest thing. Can't wait to do that. But I thought it was hilarious today to make these wreaths, and I'm just like, nah. And I told the teenager that comes to help me, like, we have like 1 or 2 every week. I told the one that helps this week, I was like, Asha, I'm just letting you know, we're gonna need one older person per table to help these children. And by that we needed like 7. But so anyways, that was
Ouch.
terrible. It was so painful. I felt so bad for them because they really were enjoying it, and I was just like, Oriental Trading Company, stop making shitty crafts. Anyways, so I made a lot of bullies. Like, and when I mean
Well,
like a lot,
you just get to file it under don't buy that one again.
can I tell you, I didn't buy it at all, but I filed it under don't buy it again for her. And she was like, oh, but this one wasn't a win. I'm like, this one was not a win. And not on your fault. Like, on the company who makes these faults. So I made a bunch of bullies because, yeah. A bunch, or 2 of them are going, not 2, 3 of them are going to clutter.
Oh, I do have one more thing to share. Okay.
And I can't remember which of the 3 are actually going to clutter. I have to have to look at the sheet that we fill out for the whatever, because they all have names. I just can't remember which one's going where. So I have, again, these colors don't come. I hate. So it's like a Tiffany blue. Doesn't look like it whatsoever on the camera because that's, how God made cameras. And it has like but look, you could see the freaking blue.
Sure, blame the divine creature for your technological shortcomings. I see how it is. The great big invisible man up in the sky. It's your fault that your technology doesn't work.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I mean, he's making a butterfly land on a special needs kid's head, but you're fucking yeah, I see how it is.
Yeah, exactly. The god Jeff Bezos or whoever the fuck makes, I don't know. Wait, who made my computer? Is it a Dell? No, it's a Samsung. Whoever owns Samsung. Anyway, so this shit, it's like a Tiffany blue. It's really pretty in my opinion. And it glows like really intense. So there's that one. This was kind of fun. It's like yellow with gold flakes in it, and it glows like really, really bright. This is the one that I was like, this is not going to come up well, like on camera at all. And I love this one. This is my favorite one, hand over heart. It it looks clear. You can't tell at all, and it sucks. If you can see in there's like that iridescent like glitter, and it's like injected through it, and it's my favorite one because it goes all through down here, and it goes all through in here, and you can't see it at all until you look like, unless you're looking at it like in person. Oh, like there you go. If I bring it real close to the camera and I turn it to this angle, you can see it too. But that one's my favorite, and I might keep that one.
See, God's plan doesn't want your image to be transmitted.
He didn't. See, God was like, fuck you. And then the one that I did for our stuff, I gotta nip the butts on these ones. There are some that I didn't like sand down yet. This little guy is like a, can't really tell that it's translucent, but it's like a translucent grayish there.
Well,
cool glitter.
Very holographic, sparkly.
Yeah. Trevor doesn't watch our show, so who cares? This one's for Trevor. It's a light lavender, and when it glows, it's blue, and it's Taylor Swift Midnight's album for him. I know. but you know what? It's our love together. And then this one's pretty fucking cool in my opinion too. I did like kind of like a celebratory like New Year's glitter vibe, but then it glows like
Okay.
really, really bright blue in the middle. And then there's 2 more, and then I'm done, I swear. This one's like a
Alright.
moonstone. I have to buff this one so like you can tell that like it's kind of like a moonstone, but it has like a gold and a blue like pearl shift going on with a bunch of like clear hollow glitter. So if like you actually had like a white moonstone, it kind of reminds me of that. I really,
Oh.
really, really wish that the lights and cameras like showed how cool video like things are in person, because like I took pictures with my photo booth, and of course it looks really dope. And in this one, you can't. I don't think you can really tell. Oh, you can kind of tell. It has a very faint purple, very faint like lilac purple background with the blue going. And I really like this one because it made me think of kind of just like a dusky sky type vibes. And yeah, I made a whole bunch of shit. I made a whole bunch of these in the last few weeks. So I was just on a roll of like, I wasn't sure what ink mixtures and what glitter mixtures, because like I knew what the names were for the pieces. These are gonna go out tomorrow. I knew what the names were for the pieces. I knew like what it was going to contain, because like each one I wrote like in the description like event exclusive glitter or event exclusive like ink mix or whatever. So I knew that each time I made one, this was going to be the only time I mixed it, unless I decide that's not the one going. You know, like if let's say like
Right.
the yellow one, I don't send there. Like I could redo that one. But like each time I mixed it, I was like, all right, I have not done this before in a mixture, so this is technically exclusive. Now I have options per the names of them. It's like naming a baby. Like which of these comes out as a Starry Night? Like that's not the name of one of them, but just like, you know, something like that. Like what screams, you know, like Dusky Skies or shit like that. So I tried to make like a bunch of stuff that like felt cool to make and kind of hit like how everybody's like really like into glittery shit now and glowing stuff, and do a mixture of both. And because too, everybody always asks nowadays, does it glow? Does it glow? So I put like 2 or 3 that don't, but most of them do, to kind of like feed that need. And like the ones that do, unless you hit it with the flashlight, you don't have to make it glow. So like, you know, if somebody's like, oh, I'm not a big glow person, like then just don't hit it with the flashlight.
Yeah. I have to be like, hey, you know, everything's blacklight reactive, but you don't need it to enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. Like these have both like fluorescent like mix, or some of them have fluorescent and glow powder in it. So like, you know, maybe if they have it near a light and then they turn it off, it'll glow. But like you don't need it to love it. It makes it, you know, it gives it something, but it also doesn't take it away.
Yeah.
When I was born, the choices were Kevin or Gregory, and when my mom saw me, she said I looked like a Kevin.
Boom.
My name was not supposed to be Nicole, from what I know. I think I was either supposed to be Alexandra, or I think like if I was a girl, but I'm pretty sure Nicole Alexandra came from the fact that they were going to name me Nicholas Alexander, and then I came out with a vagina. So
what?
Yeah, like, you know, back in the day, ultrasounds were all weird. So if your baby was like this, they were like, yeah, it's a girl. Okay. So like my foot underneath my ass, I guess, you know, looked like a baby pee-pee. I thought that shit was hilarious. That it was like a surprise, and she has a vagina. You have two daughters, Bob.
Okay.
He would reject that to this day. You were supposed to be a Paige or a Taylor. Did you have any? Do you know what your names were supposed to be?
Who?
You. Did your parents ever say like if you were supposed to have
No,
been a
dude.
different name?
No.
You're always Rick.
Yeah.
Shannon, if you were a girl.
That's how you fuck up
Shannon?
somebody's identity. That's how you fuck up somebody's identity, by telling them what they could have been instead of what they are and they're happy for.
Yeah, you know your name was supposed to have been. Like my sister, I think she was supposed to be Ashley Elizabeth, and my dad just wrote Kristen.
I guess your dad got the last word in the name, didn't he?
Yeah, he might argue about that story. But my mom's dead, so we can't do that.
All right. So let's see. We've been doing this for just over an hour, and
No, show
let's
me
see.
your other thing.
Oh, thank you. Good, because I forgot. So yeah, it's my part for the unwrap. So I made
Pull it
6
back.
Christmas one. I'm going to just.
Oh, sorry. You went like this, and I was like,
I know I'm showing what I'm not going to bury the lead. So anyway, I made 6 ornaments to sell or to send up there, because I was doing Christmas ornaments for the Plaza Holiday Market that I'm going at be this Saturday. So I ended up getting these from Bean last year at Decon, and I turned them into ornaments this year. So this is one of the goofy little guys. There we go. That actually looks really nice. Like, I now can't move. So there's the green. And unfortunately, I did not have enough to make like the He-Man Porgs all one series. I only had 4 of these, so I couldn't even do 6 of that. So I think my neighbors, I'm going to give a set to my neighbor, so he may just get the He-Man ones. But yeah, so they all got colored in an old school method of like 3 colors and then a wash and a varnish. But again, my ability versus price to sell. So like, you want to know what a $15, $15 ornament from Strohmeyer is? Here you go. That's exactly what that'll be. And so
that's
yeah,
really?
I got, well, yeah, 15 bucks. I'm not sure. I haven't decided, like, yeah. So yeah, you get those little weirdos.
That's awesome.
And so like they got, so like all the warm colors got a blue-green eyes and a little like flourish in the, or flare in the mouth. And yeah, so they got hit with about 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 colors, and plus the wash and the varnish. So yeah, they're it's a pretty old school method of doing it, and yeah, I was pretty pleased with that. So for the unwrap show, I'm slightly behind because of other shit that hit the fan this week. So they go in the mail tomorrow, and hopefully they get there.
They will.
So yeah,
I was gonna overnight them again, and I was just like, bro. No.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. So Ahsoka, we got 8 episodes.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I disagree that she's the worst Mandalorian, and that's all I'm leaving it with.
Dude, yeah, worst Mandalorian ever. All right, so let's see. I don't want to go episode by episode, but there's some, like, I'm here for all of Rick's sound effects. What other sound effects have I been making?
Usually, like,
oh, good. You know, like some of those sound effects are brought to you by my college education. Well, like my printmaking professor, who I love dearly, would make weird sounds when he's doing stuff. So like he's got this one that we had the single bladed fan that we'd use in lithography, and whenever he did it, he'd go. So like whenever I taught the lithography part that he would normally show the print 1 kids, I would also. But when I do stuff with the dogs, I always like when I throw, they get a sound effect there. And when I was working with the special ed kids, everything got a sound effect too. And so was my like the person who started saying when the shit hits the fan, yikes. Yep. So all right. So about time you all put respect on Hayden's name. All right. So
okay, well, it's not our fault that he fucked up the first 2 movies that he was in. Not our
It's not his
fault at
fault either.
all.
It's not his fault because
His
you're
acting
only
was
as good as
ass.
you're only as good. Yes, but all of their acting was ass.
Yes.
So that's on Lucas. Because
I'm not saying that he's a bad
Portman,
actor because I would
McGregor,
never say she is. They all just
Liam
it was a
Neeson,
shitty
Portman,
movie.
McGregor, they're not shitty actors. Yeah, it's George's fault. So
It
before
was
we
just all
go,
shitty movies.
before we start, I'm gonna go. The editor should be shot, but I'm gonna preface this with a while ago we had JFO on, and he made a great point that makes me want to sit in the boat or in the same train car that he did. He is, because of the point he said, where he likes all content, because when I was 8, I thought Return of the Jedi was the last Star Wars thing I'd ever see. All right. So living this life to where, there's a lot more content nowadays than even just the Ewok adventure ones. This is a great time to be a Star Wars fan. Like all this bonus content, even the crappy stuff, it's still Star Wars content, and that's pretty cool. Now to nitpick, yeah, that's kind of what I'm here for. Like Sabine Wren, I'm gonna go on this forever. Shittiest Mandalorian ever. All right. Like, even the kid that got sucked away by not one, but 2 fucking monsters, he does a better job as a Mandalorian than Sabine Wren. All right. And Kylo Ren's costume is awful. So, yeah, I said it. You could go to U-Haul, buy some moving blankets, and you're halfway there to Kylo Ren's costume. But that being said, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'd give it a B+. And let's see what I want to discuss about it. I don't want to go show by show to review on it. But to compare from this to all the way to the Phantom Menace, when you get a belly shot in Star Wars, it seems like Qui-Gon Jinn got the shittiest end of the stick, because he's the only one who's ever died from a belly wound.
Yes.
Because like Sabine Wren, she gets to come back from it. Anakin Skywalker, he dies from, look at how much of a belly wound he got. He gets to be Darth fucking Vader. And fuck. The girl in Book of Boba Fett who gets the modification to the belly thing, to the belly wound that Boba Fett rescues. She fucking comes in, right? Like, Qui-Gon Jinn is the only poor unfortunate bastard that dies from a fucking belly wound in Star Wars. Yeah, even Darth Maul, who don't lightsabers instantly cauterize the wound. You'd like to think that, wouldn't you? And yet Qui-Gon Jinn still fucking dies. Darth Maul can be cut in half at the belly and fucking live. Qui-Gon Jinn is the only one who gets to die from a belly wound. That's sad. And I'm sure his death came from disputes between him and Lucas, because typically that's how you write out. You have a good character like that, and it's spoiled in a soundtrack that was released.
We couldn't kill Jar Jar Binks.
Couldn't kill Jar Jar Binks. Nope. But Qui-Gon Jinn wiped out from a fucking belly wound. So, I really liked Balin's skull. I'm unhappy that they didn't explain what kind of Force philosophy that they had, and I'm sure it's supposed to be expanded on in the next episode of whatever they do, whether it's the Filoni movie or season 2 of Ahsoka. I'm sure that'll be expanded on, but like, it's unfortunate about Balin, about Ray Stevenson's dead, but the character didn't die. So like, it's very unfortunate that we don't get that, and they'll recast him. All right. It'll be interesting to see how they do it. But in order to move, if they want to push that story along, right? So if you want to push his story along, you're going to have to recast him, or they're just going to do like some side note, just be like, oh, Van Skull invented this, and some other character is going to be like, well, he did this and that, and write him off with just some fucking one line off to the side, like in A New Hope, how Grand Tarkin explains how the Emperor dissolved the Senate, and it's just like a 30-second scene, and that's all that happened, right? So, but there's a lot there, right? So they'll recast them, right? Which is fine. You know, fans may like it, fans may hate it, but that's what they'll need to do to move that along. But at the same time, like, they should be recasting Luke Skywalker instead of like trying to, yeah. All right, so I made like 2-3 points. Nicole, go ahead and say something fun about that before I.
So I will give it a B. Just one, boop, boop, below. B for a few things. I cannot tell you Balin's apprentice's name for the life of me. I watched all 8 episodes, and it took
Shin Hati.
Okay, well, you know what? They had to say it every time for me to remember it. So to me, that means that you were not important enough for me to remember it, and that was a problem, in my opinion. To me, it was a problem that I had more interest in what his storyline was going to be than the person and not more interest, but I didn't have similar interest, or like I couldn't remember her as well. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I know that was his apprentice, but like. That's like in the prequel, or in like the Rebels and everything like that. Like, Sabine is the apprentice of Ahsoka. You know who she is. You know her character. You remember her name. This girl, I was just like, who are you again? Oh yeah, that's right. And like every time I saw her, I felt like she was just like a person that was there for you to do like a parallel of Ahsoka and Sabine.
Well, you have the master-apprentice relationship.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the mental parallel of that, but it wasn't in my mind, because you don't know who they are. You don't remember her as well, like as much, because he is such a focus. That's how I saw it.
Okay.
I really like that they found Ezra. I was really worried about that. I was so worried about this. I was so worried that they were not going to find him, or that he was going to be dead. And at first, I thought he was the trooper that had like the gold on him.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
what a great costume!
That was. It really was.
Costume.
But I thought that was him at first, and I was like, no, please, no! Like, no more bad things to you, poor boy. But then, like that, when he got back and they stayed, and Thrawn got to leave, I was like, y'all better have a whole second season, because there's no way that we went through Clone Wars, Rebels, and all like bad, all this shit. Everything that I learned, because I didn't watch them, everything that I've watched to understand Ahsoka beforehand, I was so fucking invested in this shit because of all of the things that I had watched beforehand, even without watching the series, that I was like, y'all better find Ezra. Y'all better kill Thrawn. And I'm like, and when it didn't happen, and when none of that happened, I was like, y'all better have a season 2, because there's no way that y'all just did everything you just did for it to just be switching places. No, absolutely not.
So Dave Filoni is set to make a Star Wars movie, and it's very much speculated that it'll be kind of like an Avengers style, where you have all of these characters that are in this Filoni, series, that you would have like everybody's going to be interacting, not necessarily as one big super group lineup, but everybody's going to be involved. So that's the expectation to come. So we probably will see another CGI version of Luke Skywalker. Like the one nice thing about having Ezra Bridger,
because they keep mentioning Senator Organa.
No, but yeah, and that's just it. Like they're just talking about her off camera, and that's okay because
I'm
like
saying in the
there's
movie, do you think that they're going to try to CGI her?
no. Well, I think they might do what they did with her daughter in Rogue One because that looked pretty good. But you know, they once upon a time they said they weren't going to be CGIing Leia, and I don't know if it was just because for those the sequel trilogy, but I hope not. I hope they just they do what they did with Rogue One and consider that good. Let's see. I really like
No, not kill him
Thrawn's.
in his first appearance. I'm just saying, like, that, like, they
Oh
didn't
yeah, no.
no, that I'm saying that they didn't go through all of that just for it to be reversed. Like, there was no way that, like, I was gonna be cool with, like, oh, if they turned around and said that this was a one-off series and that like this was
Oh.
if they said this is Ahsoka, have fun, I would be like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? That you're gonna try to tell me that all of this and everything that we've invested into and all the things I've learned and read is gonna just turn into like her and Sabine just swap places with him.
That's kind of shitty.
And
All
he
right,
just
so
gets
let's
away
see.
with it again.
So I really like his stormtroopers, like that rugged look, the pseudo Japanese look to them because of the bindings and their the music when Thrawn was finally introduced, really really nicely done.
They made Thrawn look really good, like for an in person to comparison
Yeah.
like the cartoon. I was like,
Oh
good
yeah,
actor.
yeah. So same voice actor.
I know that's
So
what
that
I'm
was
saying. Like
pretty.
it's cool that he looks like. Well, maybe they did that on purpose.
Yeah, they did a great job. Yeah, that was excellent. So what do you think's in the boxes?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. I don't either, but do I love the idea of speculating on that.
So at first, what I was thinking was some kind of like, what are the crystals that power the lightsabers?
Fibers.
Thank you. I was like, the word is like literally, dude. You should have seen me today. I've apologized to multiple places that I've gone shopping to for like how dead my brain is. I'm like, I'm so sorry, I can't think of words. I was thinking it was some like other universe, other galaxy, like superior type shit like that. And then I was like, nah, that ain't it. That's too basic, too like obvious and easy. And then I was like, okay, it has to have something to do with like the witches. But I don't know.
Okay.
Like,
I think it's bodies.
You think it's bodies?
I think they're coffins. Or like stasis chambers for bodies. Yeah. I seriously think like they
like
just
more
brought
clones?
back. I don't know if it's I don't know what it is, but like because they were clearly they were happy to have reanimate the dead, and I think they kept something in stasis so that they could have bring them back to Dathomir and have fucking reanimate sisters, or if they're the fallen clones or whatnot. But I think they're bodies. That's my humble opinion on that. Let's see what else. The bodies that. Okay, so my big gripe. Well, not big gripe, but one of my bigger like they dropped the ball. One of the bigger ball drops. They're like, okay, so you have Sabine Wren, worst Mandalorian ever, and like her and Ezra are racing up this tower to get to the Star Destroyer before it leaves, and they're stopped by two invincible undead zombie guys that they've never seen before in their life, right? And they're trying to invoke fear into to see Sabine Wren and make these two characters like have to struggle before they get to so that they can't get to the Star Destroyer. I'm like, Thrawn is the right time frame where they could have had battle droids on his ship. And I think that like they should have used K2SO droids at that fight instead, because it would fuck up with Sabine Wren's Mandalorian mentality, since those droids were used on the destruction of Mandalore, and just give her a reason to be hesitant to engage by having like these droids that, yes, is totally within the realm of reason of Thrawn having, and just fuck with her. It's like, it would be like, after Charlie Brown successfully kicked the football once, he's never going to want to kick that football again, because he's never going to have another chance, right? And I'm like, come on, man, those K2SOs, those are badass robots. They haven't gotten enough time in Star Wars, and that'd be a perfect opportunity to just have them and remind people, hey, you're about to see one in Andor in about a year, but they're not Alan Tudyk. They're important. So
You know the droid that was with oh my god, Ahsoka. I was like, Jesus Christ, Nicole. Like,
yeah.
I was about to say Rosaria. For the love of God. That was played by David Tennant.
Yeah.
I thought that was so great because I didn't know that, and then all of a sudden, like, the credits rolled, and I was like, "Bitch, who was David Tennant?" And then
man,
I looked it up, and I was like, "Stop it!" So then the next one that came up,
what a
like I heard, all I could hear was David Tennant. I was like, "Damn it!"
What a good character, like that. Like, there's when he's getting ambushed outside, what does he fucking do? He smashes something on the ship to actually disable it, so that they know, hey, we're under attack, without him having to scream out or alert a siren or something.
He's
There's
so
like
cool.
some super smart writing there. Like,
to be honest, right now, he's my
like,
favorite. And
there's
Chops,
some really nice like nuances that they put in that show that show that they were willing to put in this kind of detailed work. It was really nice, right? Like, I like that Anakin Skywalker also did what is that? Fireworks, Kevin? Barney Crouch Jr., but he's right. No, and I like that Anakin Skywalker did. How do you get Anakin Skywalker in without showing Anakin Skywalker? The videotapes, the videotape lessons. I thought that was cool. Like, when you're traveling from place to place, what do? You record a Jedi correspondence lesson for your Padawan, and who knows? Maybe she shared those with Luke. So like, it's possible that Nicole, you froze on me. But I like the idea. I like to think that, like, okay, Ahsoka had these training videos, and she and Luke have crossed paths before The Mandalorian. So maybe she shared with him some of these training videos that his fucking dad made. Right? Nicole, jump off. You're frozen.
I don't see it.
I boot you. Can I boot? Okay, there you go. I see her. Yeah, I saw her too, and she just froze. So there we go. At Matt Hattress is loading. There's Sean on stream. There we go. We're coming back. Ta-da! Welcome back to the land of the streaming, Nicole. I think maybe I'm too fast. Maybe my computer is still searching for Wi-Fi, but like it's looking for the other thing. Double click. All right. Well, we're having trouble. We're having a little technical difficulty tonight. That's okay. We'll give Nicole another minute or two to jump on. The joys of doing things live. Hey, there we go. Minnesota Wi-Fi, eh? Man, I would hope not. Like,
Am I like?
this is the first time we've had some weird
Mhm.
issues for Wi-Fi up here. I would hope they.
Can you hear me?
Like our governor believes in infrastructure. Any government money that's offered to this state from the federal government, our governor is happy to take. So yeah, I meant to look at how free our state is ranked, because there's a new poll out about like the freest states in this country. Nevada is number one as the freest, and Texas has been listed as the least free state. So we'll see. Cool. All right. I don't hear Nicole. I don't see Nicole, but I see that like my screen is divided for her, and so I have hope that she'll be able to jump on and we'll be able to continue this.
But everybody else can.
Man, let's see what else. PA is whack in various ways. I see her in here. Okay, well, cool. We're gonna try and I don't know. I want to try and have like her talking over me talking while we're doing this. So let's get. Come on, Nicole.
Come on, what? I didn't do anything.
Like I can boot her and try again and again and again. I can't boot myself.
I don't know.
Nor would I. It is comedy. That's all right. You know, there's you a zombie. Zombies for Christmas. That's what we got. There we go. Show on stream. There we go.
Maybe
we have to wait for this. Maybe God doesn't want us talking about Ahsoka tonight.
This is not comedy. This is me leaving. Somebody tell him I'm leaving.
Well, if that's how we have to end tonight, I'm going to be a little
love y'all.
sad
Bye.
about that. Oh, my Wi-Fi is good. Oh man, poor Nicole. She keeps jumping off and on.
Because he said he's sad. Well, Kevin's high. That's why he's laughing.
Let's see what other goofy things about Ahsoka. I know it's funny. Let's see. Yeah, because you guys just want to hear you guys came for the painting, right? So.
Someone tell him I'm texting him.
All right, I'm gonna get more there too. You're gonna get more there. Okay. There you go. All right, Nicole.
I told him I'm gonna cry.
Just gonna call it. We're gonna.
I told him I'm gonna cry, people. I can hear him.
All right, so apparently Nicole is going to be. This is going to be. I came for two hosts that cannot hear each other. Right.
Tell him I can hear him.
Give another minute to see how this is going, and if we can't fix it, we're just going to call it for a night. Hopefully, this can be remedied. So I can hear and see you. Oh, well, you can hear and see me. I can't see you. So, yeah. All right. So we're going to call this a night. And thank you guys for coming on in and the participation to make this
it is Rick.
entertaining. And I appreciate that. I look forward to the next time we're able to crack open a beer together and or just be able to share these fun experiences. So when she's not having the biggest technical difficulties in the world, that's at the on Instagram.
No.
I'm at Rick Stroh on Threads, Instagram, YouTube, and
What
Facebook.
he
So
got?
see you next Sunday, y'all. At 7 o'clock again. Have a great week.
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock our time. Who's watching? If you can, I hope this stays on YouTube like this. This is